What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Downtime with Downstar. And today we're here with Cayden Young of Midnight Auto Garage. Cayden, thank you for coming, man.
Thank you. It was much greatly appreciated to come here.
Of course, man. Thank you so much.
Making.
So, you made a long trip. Just for the pod. You flew in just for the pod. I love it, man. That makes me feel so good. So where'd you come in from?
We flew down from Calgary, Alberta.
Okay.
Well, it's a 3-hour flight. Not terrible, but...
Oh, 3 hours? That's not bad.
It's like 3 hours, 45 minutes, somewhere in there.
It's never crossed my mind to go to Canada.
You gotta come.
You know why?
Why?
Dude, you guys were fucking with the truckers, bro. What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Those poor truckers, dude. No, just kidding. I don't know.
Come down to Alberta.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What is there to do out there?
We go to the mountains. You can go see the prairies. You can go see farms. You can
The
go...
prairies?
Yeah.
What is that?
Farmland. Just rollers of fields and hay all in them and everything.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Wheat, all the plants.
Cow tipping?
Oh, yeah. We could go cow tipping.
Can you really do that? I heard that's a myth.
I've never gone, but I got enough country folk that say like you can actually go cow tipping.
I've never met anybody that's actually tipped a cow.
No.
It's always like my cousin Jerome or something, you know? Like,
yeah.
It doesn't sound like it makes sense because they're still pretty heavy.
They're a massive animal. Like,
yeah.
Especially when you're one-on-one of a cow. You're like, oh, this thing's gonna kill me in any second.
I've never been that close to a cow besides like on my plate, you know?
Yeah. No, that's like the crazy thing. Like even with Dad, he's from Ontario, and we can come back into the farms and stuff. You're sitting there petting a pig or you're petting a cow and hanging out. You got chickens running around. You're just...
That's crazy.
It's life. Yeah. For some people in Alberta, that's life. Like wake up, go feed your cows and feed your horses and feed your pigs.
I think that would change my mind about like my eating habits, you know?
I could see it 100%, but like in all reality, like even when you go to, like we got a really close buddy and that's his grandparents. They've lived on a farm their whole life. And you go there and everything you eat for dinner has came off that farm. Like their garden, their animals, everything that you eat that night.
That's pretty cool.
Comes from their farm.
That is pretty cool though. Yeah. Especially like maybe you just give them a good life, you know?
Oh, 100%.
Play with them.
They're well taken care of.
And then when it's time,
you
know, because I know that the shit that we eat, man, they're not having a good life.
No, God, no. And like for like a small farm and stuff like that in Alberta, it's literally you feed them. I don't know how long. I'm not like a big into the farm life or anything like that, but you feed them, you get them to their point or whatever, and you just send them to the butcher.
Like they don't even know.
They don't even know. Like they just live some life out in some beautiful field in the middle of it could be mountains or the prairies, and got a nice view for the last 5 years and or however long. It is not exactly sure, but
I wonder, right?
Yeah, I have no.
'Cause I'm pretty sure like a Chick-fil-A chicken has been alive for 20 days, and that's it. So like that. It's from an egg, to the time that it's like
bunch of
3 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's like 20 days, and it's just growing massively.
Yeah, well, and like in factories and stuff like stuff like that. That's not. They ain't just out running around in some field.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
They're in some building in some cages of an extra 100,000 chickens right beside them.
Yeah. It's sad, man.
Oh, it's crazy to see.
It was probably a few years back. I've talked about this before where I just don't kill anything, any bugs, anything at all, unless there's a respect level.
Okay.
So if like a big ass spider is walking here right now, this is my area.
Yes.
You know, I pay the rent here.
Yeah.
You know, this is my table. Like, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
But if we're outside,
let him chill.
Let him chill. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that helps out a lot with karma. At least I like to think
and
so.
Like good karma is always there. That's one thing that I grew up on. Was a big thing that was pushed by father. There was always make good karma
for sure,
because it will always come back at some point, even if it's 5 years down the road or if it's the next day type of idea. There's always going to be something else that came out of for you being nice to someone else or to something.
And even if you just think it doesn't matter. It's like a placebo, you know. Even people say, well, it's a placebo effect. Well, it's the effect. It worked. So it doesn't matter, you know? So if something good happens to you and you're like, oh man, that's cool that something good happened to me, because on the flip side, if you're a bad person, like bad stuff always seems to happen to you.
You'll find yourself in shittier situations.
Always,
all the time.
dude. Always. I would do things, and then I would think like when something bad would happen, it would come to my head like, man, that's why, because I scammed this dude or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with being a good person at all. There's like, my whole thing is everybody that I interact with, I want it to be a positive
Yes, you want them to leave with a smile on their face.
For sure.
And remember the conversation that you had.
Yeah.
Like, we've talked online for the last probably 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
And it's always been a great conversation. And now look the relationship that has been built just because of we've been nice to each other type idea.
Well, look at you, bro.
Yeah.
You made it happen, dude.
Yeah.
How old are you?
19.
19. That's crazy, man. You might be one of the youngest guests that we've had.
That's awesome.
Minus my son.
Yeah.
I think he's the youngest. I can't wait to have my daughter in here.
Oh, that'd be such a good show.
It's coming pretty soon.
Yeah, it's getting there.
But 19, dude.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely get into it. But Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Yes.
You know who else is from there, right?
Who else?
Bret Hart.
Oh yeah.
The Hart family.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny, one of the brothers is a substitute teacher in Calgary.
No way.
He wears these Nike shoes, but they got cowboy boots on top of it, like the top of the shoe's a cowboy boot.
Custom?
I have no clue.
That's that Hart family money. I'm sure they're custom, dude.
Yeah, and then like it's crazy because like every school in Calgary's had the same sub. And he's always got different colored ones and this and that, and he's some older dude, longer hair and these Nike shoes, cowboy boots, and he wears shorts with them and just rocks on his day.
You ever watch wrestling?
I never really got into it.
So you don't get anything I'm saying, dude.
No.
That was a part of my life, bro. So 19, you were born in
03.
So I probably stopped watching wrestling about 03.
Yeah.
So that was I'm not even going to call you WWE because that's disrespectful. WWF, that was the Attitude Era. Okay. And that's where you're talking Stone Cold, The Rock.
Yeah.
Those was like even before John Cena.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
And it was amazing, bro. And I remember every month they would have a pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
So it would be like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, something like that. And we had these. It was like a cable box, and there was a legal cable box, and you can get. You don't have to pay You don't have to pay for it. You can get it, and I would record the VHS, and I had all of them recorded, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I would always remember that I would say from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Bret Hart.
Yeah. And
then Owen Hart, rest in peace. Yes. Owen Hart. He actually died at an event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was at a pay-per-view as well. So he was he had a character that he did. God, I forget the name of it, but he had like a wing suit kind of on.
Yeah.
So he was at the top of the arena, and he was like supposed to fly down, and they had him hooked up on the harness. Yeah. So they're doing like the recap before the match, Owen Hart versus Goldust or whatever, and then they get back to the camera. And it's the guy, Jim Ross, this one of the announcers. He's like, I regret to inform you that Owen Hart has just died. And I'm like, what the fuck? Bro, I was probably like 13 years old or something. And
that is insane.
So he just fell, dude. And he hit like the turnbuckle or something and died, dude. Rest in peace, man. Crazy. Imagine that shit.
Imagine sitting there like you sat there and paid to go watch your wrestling.
Well, I didn't pay because I stole it.
Yeah. Oh, but the guys that are there.
The guys that are.
Yeah, and he just falls, who knows, 80 feet up from
just kids, dude.
Yeah. Oh,
kids with their family,
Yeah.
So stoked that they got like front row. Hell yeah, son, it's your birthday.
Yeah.
You never know, dude.
No.
That's why you gotta be nice to spiders. You never know when it's your time. Or you never know when the spiders are gonna turn.
Oh yeah.
You know, because at one time we weren't the big species.
No.
It was dinosaurs. Imagine what that was like, dude.
Oh.
You know.
Couldn't imagine. Imagine walking out of your cave, your house.
Yeah.
And there's some T-Rex just stomping by.
What if they were just like pussy though? You know, because we think about it because from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
We're like. were like bred that dinosaurs are big.
Yeah.
What if they weren't,
Yeah,
dude?
it's just like some little pussy, like
Yeah.
a little dog or something that sees a human runs off.
Like a lizard. You know, you see,
yeah.
if I see a lizard, he runs away.
Yeah.
So how funny would that be? Like a 30-foot lizard just like running away. And when we looked at him, maybe. We don't know. Maybe they never even existed. You ever think about that?
It's interesting because in Alberta, there's a place called Drumheller. And it's got one of the biggest dinosaur museums in all of North America.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, you can go out and dig up dinosaur and bones, and like you can go on ventures and like go on like 3-week camps and stuff like that to go into like, it's like the hoodoos and stuff is what it's called, and they go out there and find dinosaur bones.
Oh,
like that's people's lives
That's crazy.
in Drumheller. So like not everyone, but like a lot of people in Drumheller, that's why they're there, is to go hunt for dinosaur bones.
Wow. That's intense.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah, like if you come down to Alberta, you literally go to, it's called the Royal Trail Museum or something like that.
Now you're enticing me now,
Yeah,
dude. Go hunt for dinosaur bones. I like that.
Yeah.
My daughter, for some reason, she's into crocodiles.
Okay.
She calls them kotakai.
Okay.
Yeah. So people would be like, what is she saying? I'm like, oh, it's a crocodile.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh. I'm like, don't fucking worry about it. She's not even 3. This is how she talks, all right?
Yeah.
And I hope she never learns how to pronounce crocodile.
It's so cute.
I hope she's gonna be like 25 and be like, oh, there's a kotakai. They're like, what? Like, nothing, never mind. Nothing, never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were watching videos on YouTube. She woke up the other morning and she said, kotakai. That's like the first thing, and then she gave me my phone to watch videos, and we're watching YouTube shorts, bro. They're huge.
They can get ginormous.
Huge, dude. I saw this clip of Joe Rogan. He was talking to this guy, and the guy said that there was a crocodile that was like over 20 feet. And I'm like, I have a canopy, like a 10 by 20. So you're telling me that thing's longer
than your tent?
That's crazy.
No, I couldn't imagine you're swimming around and next you got this 20-foot alligator beside you. No, I'm good.
Done, dude. That's Florida.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
No way, dude. Do you know about Florida?
Some like I've always seen videos of Florida and stuff.
Probably just like the worst place to live. Just the worst kind of people, you know. Shout out to everybody listening in Florida right now. You guys know. Yeah. Don't fake. You know what it is. If you Google April 27th, Florida man. That's it.
There's always
every single
day.
day.
Yeah, there's a story for every single day.
What is it? Why do they do crazy shit all the time? You know?
Yeah.
Because it's like not even part of the country. If you just cut off, if you just took like a bulldozer and said, okay, for 30 feet, we're going to dig a trench.
You are now an island.
That's it. You're now an island. And they would be an island, and no one would go to that island because they're fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, like I said to you earlier, this is my first time in the States.
Oh my God, that's crazy. So, but you're 19.
Yeah,
that's
19.
Cool. Okay.
I've been to like both sides of Canada, right? But first time ever touching U.S. soil.
Oh wow.
And it was crazy flying in here, and you're flying over the desert and stuff like that. It was wild to see because usually when I fly, you're flying over mountains, trees, and forest for the last 3. Like to get to Ontario, it's 3 hours. To get here, it's 3 hours.
So have you ever seen the ocean before?
No, I've never made it into Vancouver.
So still, you've never seen the ocean?
No, I saw it this morning.
You went to the actual water?
After breakfast, we went down to.
Oh, because you were in Oxnard.
Yeah.
Oh, they went to Miss Olson's. Everybody who's local, that's awesome. Miss Olson's is delicious. So that's right there on the harbor.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, because it was funny. We were like, we got some time to kill, and I like pull up my phone, zoom out of the map. I'm like, that's right there. So we literally just walked from Miss Olson's down to the ocean.
So what'd you think of the ocean?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very weird once you just look out.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're just sitting there, like, there's no other side. Like, Alberta, there's not big lakes.
Yeah.
Ontario, there's massive lakes, like, huge lakes. And you go back home, like, a lake to us is a little pond in someone's yard.
Gotcha. Yeah. If you look out in the ocean, who knows what's out there?
Yeah. Oh, you have no clue.
How do we know? Just from the maps?
Yeah.
Those maps are lying, dude. I don't believe that.
All the Antarctica maps and stuff like that.
That's bullshit.
That's it's just
bullshit.
white, right? Yeah.
The older you get, the more you'll start to realize that everything is bullshit.
Yeah, no, and like even like throughout the last year and stuff like that, just reading articles and stuff like you're like, that can't be true.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Who made this up? Yeah.
And then when they start trying to tell you things that you thought were real, now you're just like, you're lying. Like they're trying to say that aliens are real.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're lying. Because why are you telling me now?
Yeah.
You know? Why are you trying to convince me?
Yeah, I think the funniest part with like the whole aliens and stuff, they released all that information and no one even freaked out.
No one cares.
No, they're like, cool, rock on.
Dude, gas is $6 a gallon. I don't give a fuck about an alien unless he's going to fill up my tank.
Yeah, he's got a spaceship for me, rock on.
Damn, so being in Canada, probably looking at the U.S. is probably crazy.
Oh, it's wild.
So what's your perception of the U.S.? Because mine of you
Bigger.
guys is just, you don't like the truckers. And
No, we love the truck.
you guys don't say, what's the A?
Eh?
You guys haven't said it. The whole time that we've been
He's
talking.
just been waiting for it.
Yeah, don't you know? Or you guys are trying so hard not to say it. Don't say it.
Yeah, well, it's like, like when we sat over breakfast for it, he was like, oh, we have an accent out here. And he looks at me and he's like, what?
Not much.
No? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Very, very small things.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of, like we were talking about earlier, the guys from Cayden.
Yes.
Because they talk, they don't have much of an accent,
Okay.
but there's certain words
Yeah.
that they'll say when I'll talk to them. Shout out to Sean and John from Cayden, great dudes. But certain words, like how do you say the thing that cools down your engine?
Radiator?
Huh?
Radiator?
Radio. Okay, so you guys are from the civilized
Yeah.
civilized area of Canada, so they call it a radiator.
Yeah, radiator.
Like what the?
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
There's some stuff that like even when you call, because like for us doing the parts and stuff like that, you call a supplier and you're like, hey, I need a radiator, and they come back to you, radiator. You're like,
Yeah, I'm like, no. Yeah, I guess
yeah,
so.
if that's what you're calling it today, I guess. Yeah.
Just some people aren't civilized. It's all good. You know what's so funny? Have you guys ever heard of the show Week Fest?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Week Fest is a show, a series that it travels all over the states and even goes into Japan.
Okay.
They started from a shop in San Francisco, or I think San Jose,
Okay.
called Week Sauce. So they started it probably about 2007 or so, and then it just blew up, and they're still going to this day. Now, when it goes to the East Coast, the festival is called Week Fest, WEK Fest.
It sounds like the name really sounds familiar.
They call it Weck Fest,
Oh.
and I'm like, no, because the brand was Week Sauce,
Yeah.
Week Fest, and you could explain it to them
Yeah.
all day. And they're just like, oh yeah, Weck Fest.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Uncivilized people.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
So
but-
how uncivilized do we look in Canada?
Oh, you guys are like super civilized.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
You should see some of the stuff. You're driving down the road and some dude's got their hay bale in the back of their F-150.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, just ratchet strap, good to go.
Oh shit.
Like even the stuff like when we were moving shops and stuff like that, you'd have this crater on your flat deck and you're like, let's throw a couple ratchet straps on. It's 5 minutes down the road.
Just living life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I think that we're crazy. A lot of the stuff that I see,
Yeah.
you know, that's why I really don't try to watch like mainstream news
No, God,
or
no.
anything like that. It's like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah, well, and, like with all of it starting to come out a lot more now, like even in Calgary, the news has just gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. Because like even the day we left here, someone got stabbed in a house 4 blocks away from my place,
Oh really?
and a month before that, someone got stabbed right down there. But like before it was all super mainstream, you wouldn't even have heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been you would have heard about it from your neighbor or something. Like, oh, did you see all the cops over down the road? But no, it's global news.
Oh
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Oh wow. Yeah, the news is just it's definitely been uncovered as just bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not like the news when I don't even, my parents were growing up. I tell my parents now, don't even watch the news.
No.
Like it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
It's really a business.
yeah, it's background noise.
For sure. How did they get paid? From ads. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, so you're going to want to do the most you can to get people to watch your show for
Yes.
ads, you know, and it's all being uncovered.
Yeah.
So all I do is just listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
And I get all my news from Joe Rogan.
Yes.
And I'm expecting the world to end one of these days.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to spend my time waiting.
No. I'm not gonna sit
For
there and freak out about
For
it.
whatever, dude.
Yeah, go on with your daily life. We blow up one day. We blow up one day.
Dude,
if that's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen.
Sometimes I'll just be like laying in bed. I'm thinking like, man, everything could just turn bright right now.
Yeah.
And blow up, and we could be nuked.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know anything about it.
No.
You know, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Because I used to be like that. I used to watch like all like the current events and things that are going on and what the president's saying and what's the new mandates and shit like that. I'm like, bro, I don't give a shit, dude. No, whatever.
Like one of my biggest things was I was really not attached to social media, but I was on social media and watching the news quite often and stuff like that when I first started coming out into when we first opened our storefront, and I shut all of it off. I was like, this is way too much background noise. You're just thinking about nonsense all day. You're like, oh, well, this is going to happen and this is going to happen.
What can you do?
Yeah, I can't do anything about it. It's not like anyone else is going to go and fix it either. So
there's nothing that you can do. So just do what you can do.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah. Don't worry about it. But that's crazy, man. Your first time in the States. And
yeah.
So you're here until Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, and you're here till Tuesday.
So we got a full week here pretty much.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what is your plan for this trip?
This trip, a lot of it was to come down and actually finally put a face to the company. Like I've sat there on the phone and shot emails with a lot of the suppliers that we have out here, but not yet has they come to Canada as a brand or we come out to here as a brand.
Gotcha.
And I thought it, like we were talking about it earlier, it's a very what's the word there? Personal level of being connected with a company.
Mm-hmm.
And like even if our sales reps, like I got one really good sales rep, and it's on a personal level. When you call him, he's, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what do you actually need right now? He's like, do you need something, or are you just asking me a question?
Yeah. And those are the best, man.
Yeah.
It's great to have those kind of relationships. Yeah. I have that with pretty much all of the people that we work with now, because at the end of the day, the person behind the phone, the same as you.
Yeah.
They're doing their job, and they have a family or they have obligations and they have things going on, and when you connect at that level, it's awesome, man.
Oh, it's huge. Like when like we were saying, you call someone, you have no clue what they look like, who they are, and then you finally put a face to it. You're like, oh, you're a sweet dude.
For sure.
Yeah, like we've talked over the last 5 years, and you're like, oh my god.
For sure.
This is awesome.
Yeah. Or sometimes you're like, man,
yeah.
I don't really like
give me
this.
the next.
Give me the next guy. Yeah. But so you came down here to meet some shops.
Yeah.
So what are some of the shops that you're going to be stopping at?
We came by for you guys. Number one.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And then we're gonna go see Status Racing.
Okay.
We are technically like the Canadian rep.
Oh, very
Status.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, like there's no one else in Alberta, and there might be one or two other people in Canada that do carry them.
Gotcha.
As far as I know, like I've been able to find another dealer inside of Canada for them. So it would be cool to go down and actually put a face to the name with them as well.
Gotcha.
And because like one of our biggest things that with us being out in Canada and having to get stuff shipped from here is the shipping costs / delays type idea. And with a lot of the people we wanted to bring up, like just seeing if we could bring our own broker and stuff like that. If that does that make sense? Like for us out there, like it's shipping gets all sorts of messed up. As soon as it hits our border, no one has any idea. As soon as it hits the border, everyone starts DHL. DHL is one of our like really our number one shipper.
Okay, gotcha.
But even with them, they still show up at the door with the credit card every time.
Really?
Yeah, the credit card machine. They're like, you guys still owe us X amount of dollars.
And you had no idea.
Yeah, like it's like I've paid shipping, I've paid duties, and I paid taxes already on the order, and then they come up with the sign and they're like, oh, you owe more duties.
Because they say you didn't calculate it right or something?
Like, I can't even tell you what they think.
So you couldn't just get it shipped somewhere close to the border and cross over?
Now, because I just got my passport last month.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to start looking into getting it because there's the people at the Montana border.
Gotcha. Okay.
You ship it there, they store it for the day or two or whatever. It's like $12 a day for them to store it.
Okay, gotcha.
And then you just drive out to the border, pick it up, and drive it back. So that's what we're gonna like. That's either what we're gonna start doing, or look into a way to make it just a little quicker back and forth. Like because with the seats and stuff, it's a big box.
Yeah. And
then when someone calls you, goes, "Hey, we have this 4 foot by 4 foot box for you. How do you want us to get it to your front door?
Mm.
You're like, I don't know. Get your guy to pick it up and put it in the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that's got to be hard to be dealing with like big products like that, right?
Yeah, like when we do like with PLM, we just did a pallet order, and then it's if with a pallet order, it's not as bad, but at the same time, they still call you and they're like, "Hey, we have this pallet full of shit for you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want it?" And then you get charged. I'm sure you can understand it. You get charged for like not having a lift gate available, not having a forklift available.
Oh my
God! They charge you
God.
for anything that delivery man has to use. You get a charge for it.
Oh wow.
So like if you don't have a forklift to get it out of the back of their truck, they charge you to use their pallet jack and their lift gate and everything to get it into your shop.
So what does something like that run?
It kind of varies on the orders. Like the last PLM one, I think it was like $170 extra just for them to get their flat deck out.
To just take it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Well, kind of one of the great things about our business is everything is tiny.
Oh, it
bro.
makes it perfect.
You know?
Yeah.
Even just storing it all.
Oh yeah. Like I have one like the glass cabinet you have downstairs there. That's where all the Downstar is.
Yeah.
We're gonna move it in. We're gonna cut a sheet on the table, put Downstar, and then put hooks, and then kind of do it by class, like Honda, BMW, Nissan, and just have it classified, and then people can sit there and flip through on what kits there are.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of our buddies a few shops down. He does these gas cans.
Okay.
And it's like, man, just having to ship that, box it, like store it.
Yeah.
You know, you say, okay, well, I got 50 cans. That's a lot of cans.
That's
dude.
a lot of room.
That's probably like this whole entire space right here.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
But then us, we could have 5,000 washers, and it'll just be
it would even be a massive
nothing,
pile
dude.
on the bench. Right?
Yeah, most of the stuff that we ship is just small boxes.
No, and like your guys' shipping works great for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's yeah, man. I guess it just depends. Like that's like why we never really wanted to get into anything big.
Yeah.
Because then you have to think about those kind of issues.
Oh yeah.
Too,
Like and like
you know?
with the nice thing with the status seats, like for customers inside of Calgary, we have the shipping built into the cost of the seats.
Gotcha.
So that's another big seller for people in Calgary. Be like, hey, you don't pay any shipping.
Okay.
You're paying the shipping, but it's included in the price of the seat.
Got you. How familiar are you with Status as a brand, as like their history?
I honestly just started to read about it a little while ago. I started making a brochure.
Okay.
And it was 04 when they...
Honestly, I'm not sure, but I do remember that they sold the company or something, but the logo changed.
Yes.
I would say within the last 5 to 8 years.
Okay. Yeah, because like I was even going through, like they sent a media file to us for pictures and stuff like that, and then the logo, it's the dot that changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it went from the top to the side.
So I have just right here, I have 2 Status seats.
Okay.
They're for the hatch downstairs. Yeah. And when I got into Hondas, that was the brand, dude.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like out in Calgary, there's a selection of people that actually know who Status is, and then the rest of them have no clue. You come out here, and like majority of the builds, like nice builds, have Status seats.
Yeah.
Because they're, in my opinion, they're the best seat to get.
Yeah.
You can fully customize, and no one else has that seat. Like you go to Bride or a Sparco seat or something like that. They made 10,000 of those seats this year.
Mm-hmm.
That means 10,000 other people have that seat. Like for our EK with the Chronic Motivation page, we have Chronic Motivation stitched into the back of the seats.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, they're just stuff like that. It makes it a lot more on it, like same idea, like on a personal level with your car.
So you can actually offer that to your customers?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
you can
very
also
cool.
offer the custom embroidery on the back of the seat. Instead of it saying like Status GTX, it will say Status and then whatever you want on the middle section.
Got it. There's a seat that I've always wanted and I never got. It was and it's got to be the old style with the dots up top. It's the U, right?
Yes.
The U.
Yeah.
So it's the dots up top of the U, but it's the Status ring red. So it's the red cloth, not anything else. No. Red cloth Kevlar.
Okay.
So sick.
Yeah, those are an OG.
Super, dude. Yeah, so somebody that has it, it has to be like, in an old build or something.
Yeah.
But like that was my dream seat
Yeah.
that I always wanted.
That's
And
awesome.
hopefully I could pick one
There's
up
got to
one
be
of these
someone
days.
that's got one kicking
Yeah, I'm gonna
around.
put the word out, guys.
Yeah.
Red status ring Kevlar, probably like 2009 ish,
Yeah. 'Cause,
somewhere.
like, I started seeing posts of like the old seats and the old Kevlar seats and stuff. I was like, where did these go?
So fucking cool, dude.
Because like we got at our shop at home, I bought these seats out in Ontario years ago before we even had status or even were selling parts or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're 1992 Sparkos and they're full carbon Kevlar shell,
Mm.
and they're just like old school padding, never been reupholstered or anything.
Nice.
Now they sit there and collect dust, but they're so sick. I don't know if I can actually get rid of them. Like I've sat there and I'm like, they're just sitting there.
Yeah.
What are they gonna go in? And then I bought status seats for the Civic and stuff like that. So
Nice. Yeah, maybe somebody at the company, they
Yeah.
would know they got one in the rafters
Yeah.
or something. I had black ones,
Okay.
Kevlar, Kevlar ones, and I sold those. I should have kept those, but
Yeah.
they looked amazing.
Yeah.
But in my right-hand drive, I have the Hockenheimens. I think that's how you say it. I don't know if they make them to this day, but they were like S2000 spec.
Oh, okay.
So they were really slim seats. I have those in the right-hand drive, and those are carbon fiber.
Oh, okay.
And then the ones that I have here are the rings, the status ring FPR. Yeah,
okay,
it's a fiberglass
fiberglass
ones.
backing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we made one. We have a display seat, and it's the Midnight Auto Garage seat. It's white leather around the side, and then black suede, and then white leather in the middle again.
Yeah.
And then we did the carbon fiber back. It's the GTX carbon fiber seat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
It's by far one of my favorite seats.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude. So you're going to see Status.
And then we're also gonna stop by PLM.
Okay.
We just brought them on 2 months ago. We brought in a pallet of their stuff. It's moved quite good and gained a lot of traction in the Calgary area. So that was really good to see. Because in all reality, it's bang for your buck stuff from them.
Yeah.
And it's easy. It's fast. A lot of it's in stock, and it's great for people in Calgary. Because people in Calgary, it's either hit or miss. You find the guy that wants to spend every single penny known to man.
Yeah.
Or you find the guy that's like, okay, we got to do this strategically.
For sure.
Idea.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, some people just don't have that that money.
Yeah, like when I still don't have that money, but when I started the Civic, it was Kijiji. It was having notifications pop up your phone when some new part showed up on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace, right?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, that's $75. I gotta go to work and then go to who God knows where.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel you. That's like, it's very taboo, that kind of stuff, like the replica stuff.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's a market for everything.
Yeah.
That's and who else are you guys seeing out here? Status, PLM.
I want to go stop by Cayden.
Oh, okay.
While we're out here.
Very cool.
Because there's only like a few people in Calgary that do the Cayden, but it's all group orders.
Uh-huh.
You got to get
18
people in on a group order, and then they send out some ginormous pallet.
Yeah. Now you're talking about pallets and big stuff. That's one hood, dude. That's huge.
Yeah, and so there's one shop, and they have to get 10 people in a row to put a hood order in.
Just to make it worth it.
Just to make it like worth it to bring it out.
For sure.
So if there's a way, because I know like Turn 14 and stuff like them, they do carry them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one company that we do want to look into bringing on with us.
Oh, very cool.
Because like we have Gretty, we have Vorsteiner, we have a couple other ones, but we don't have much for Aero. So and then there's another company in Calgary, and it's called Infamous Aero.
Mm-hmm.
They just started making wide body kits for the Mark V Supra, the new BRZ, and FRS, and that's their first 2 wide body kits they've done, and also 4-door Skyline R32s.
Okay.
So they have 3 wide body kits available, and then they do all like the lip extensions and the track arrow and stuff like that, diffusers, and they do a lot of custom builds with that stuff.
Got you.
Yeah.
So out in Calgary, what are some of the demographic of cars that you'll see?
It really varies depending on the neighborhood. Like Bowness, that's where I'm from, and it's all old school classic cars. You got everyone in their grandpa has some sort of either old truck, old Mopar, or Chevy or something like that.
Got you.
And like old school, and everything's done proper. Everything's original motors, original this, like matching numbers stuff. Like,
Oh, very cool.
one of my shop teacher, he lives in Bowness as well, and he's got a 69 Cornet Super B, painted when he was in high school, all the way down to a shell, repainted, new motor and this, and just like covered every single aspect of the car. And still to this day, people walk up and they're like, "What'd you do? Paint this 2 days ago? Like, this thing's in immaculate condition. There's no rust, no nothing."
Oh, wow.
And he was funny. He had a 500 cubic inch motor in it. And he's like, I want to put it back to the original 383. So it's now numbers matching 383 Cornet Super B.
Wow. I have a 69 Chevelle.
Yes.
And I don't have the motor anymore.
Oh?
You know, I don't know if the stock motor had matching.
Yeah.
I don't know if it had matching numbers, but I put a different motor in there, you know, and looking back at it now, there's like so many things that I wish that I didn't do to that car.
Okay.
But it was just, you know, I did a lot of learning on that car.
100%.
You know, and just going to just figuring things out, you know, cutting things, putting speakers here and there. And now that I'm looking at the car, like, man, I wish I didn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, but that car just sits, dude.
Oh, okay.
Just sits in the garage. I miss it.
Yeah.
I do miss it. Yeah. My son's about that age, so he's 16. He just got his permit.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, yeah, dude, shout out to C2. Passed it first try,
right
too.
On.
You know,
that's awesome.
Which a lot of his buddies didn't. It took them a few tries.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, I think sometimes he gets down on himself because like he doesn't get good grades in some classes or whatever, and I'm just like, you're just you're better at certain things. Oh, and it's mostly things that you want to do. Yeah. So you wanted to drive.
Yes.
You don't want to learn math.
No.
It's like, fuck math.
Yeah.
Who cares about math, you know?
Like, it was the same for me. Like, throughout junior high and stuff like that, I barely went to school.
Yeah.
That was one of my things. I was constantly ditching.
Oh, really?
Constantly ditching, never going to school, hanging out, doing all the questionable things, right? And then high school hit. Mm-hmm. Met my shop teacher, and that was it. I actually started to go to school.
So is that where you got the bug for cars?
I already had a little bug for cars, and then I started out grade 10, walked in, and he looks at me, and he's like, "You're high in my class, aren't you?" I was like, "Of course." Like, I looked at him, I was like, "I'll be straight up with you. Yeah, I am." And then he goes, "Okay, well, he's like, that's not going to pass anymore here." And that was the first teacher that ever looked at me and was like, "Okay, I don't care, but that's not going to pass here."
Yeah.
And then from there on, it's always been it's a huge bond. Like, to the point he came over and worked on our cars with us.
Oh, wow.
Like, house shop. Like, he's in Bowness as well. So, done work at his house, done work at our house and stuff like that. Very close teacher. And that was kind of, we had a very close and had a lot of good conversations with him, to the point where he looked at me, he was like, "You have to pass high school." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess that's true." Because when I first went into high school, I didn't take school as serious as I definitely should have. And then, like, I had to go back and take grade 10 twice. I had to go back and do a little bit of grade 11 because I got put in in Alberta, they go by dashes in the high school.
Okay.
It goes -4 to -1. -1's a really smart class. -4, you're in there with the droolers.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I got put in with the droolers because I didn't go to junior high.
Gotcha.
I went, but I never did anything.
Yeah.
I got put in all the -4 classes. So you had to work through, you had to do your first year -4 classes, then you had to go back and upgrade. So it technically puts you a year back. But a lot of the hard work and actually sitting there doing school, I passed grade 12 diploma, everything at the same time all my other buddies did.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have to stay there for an extra year or anything like that. I grinded. I was like, there's no way you guys are keeping me for a year for an extra year.
Yeah.
That was one of my biggest goals leaving high school, was graduate when everyone else graduates.
So then you turn it on when you need to.
Yeah.
You know, that's another Canada thing that you might not even know. Grade 10.
Oh.
We say 10th grade.
Oh, okay.
You know how I know that? From Trailer Park Boys.
That's Canadian classic right there.
I will always watch that. Why would you say that? Grade 6.
Yeah.
Grade 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's 10th
7.
grade.
10th.
Hey?
10th. So yeah, if you're trying to be incognito, you say, yeah, 10th grade.
10th grade. Yeah, I'll keep that one on track. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So you were just living life young, dude.
Oh yeah. And then.
So what was it? You just didn't care, or you just didn't care about?
Honestly, I didn't know what I like at that age. No one knows what they want to do, and at the same time, I did like what you're saying, just didn't really care. Like junior high for the most, could have cared less.
Yeah.
Like through all of junior high, couldn't cared less, and then grade 10, second semester, that's when I actually started to take school serious again.
So what are some of the things that intrigued you on that shop class?
The teacher being so involved, like to the point where he knew every single one of his students' first and last names. Not a lot of teachers actually, like in school, were like, "Oh, I know so and so." They'd kind of be like, "Oh," he knew everyone by face and name, and he had the old school teacher aspect to him. Like, you want to fuck around? Cool, you can sit in here and you won't touch a car for the next month. Type idea. Like, you'll sit here and do paperwork.
Got you.
Yeah, and like straight down to the point of this is what we're gonna do. Like within the first week, we had motors ripped apart.
What kind of motors?
I had a 302.
Oh, okay.
So they are just a whole bunch of junk motors that all the kids eventually have taken apart and put back together.
Like Ford?
Yeah.
Ford shit?
Ford shit.
Got you. That's what you do with a Ford.
Yeah.
You know? Take it apart, throw it away.
Yeah. And then
I'm still a Chevy guy.
Okay.
That's it. There's a gang war.
Yeah.
Crips, Bloods, Chevy, Ford, you know?
Honda, Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because that's how I got a lot of my buddies are Volkswagen guys.
Oh, really?
Like huge Volkswagen dudes, all Mark IVs.
Oh,
one of my
wow.
buddies, that's all he does is he flips Marks IV TDIs.
Oh, shit. Poor dude, man. Tell him
Right?
to have a real German car. BMW.
Yeah. You go there and it's literally just like it's a dealership for Mark IV Volkswagen.
Really?
It's crazy.
That's actually a market that we do want to get into.
That would be awesome.
Because those guys build crazy cars.
And they get meticulous.
They're the originators of the shaved
Yes.
engine bay. Yeah. I'm just kidding. They're dope, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know all the different chassis, but I remember it was like maybe early 90s one.
Like a Mark II or Mark III.
Something like that where the motor just floats in there. I'm like, wow, dude.
I think that's the Mark III chassis.
And they would like cut out like the where the windshield wiper, the like the cowl right there, so it's like a step. Oh, sick, dude.
No, like they like to mess around a lot with their cars, and like it's inspired a lot of other people's builds as well in all the other different aspects of the car community.
Yeah, for sure. So you're taking apart piece of shit Ford motors.
Yeah, taking apart piece of shit Ford motors, and then I got paired with the special needs kids.
Okay.
So we did it like it was mixed classes. I got paired with the special needs kids, and he did it on purpose. I didn't know this at first. But he took it to the aspect of if he can teach these two kids how to build a motor, he's like, I need to take care of this kid type idea.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, I became like head foreman of this motor build. And I helped two special needs kids put a motor together.
Oh, wow.
And like without touching a tool. And my shop teacher came up to me. He's like, okay, you must have something. You must be somewhat like just bugging me, right? He's like, you must be like somewhat smart if you could teach someone how to put a motor back together.
Yeah.
That can not do their classes.
So what was your way of connecting with these special needs kids? Was it how you explained it to them?
Explained it to them and not freaking out on them. Because
Gotcha.
like a lot of kids would freak out on them. Be like, okay, well, I'll go up to my teacher and lose it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can't sit here and do this. You just be calm and patient.
Mm-hmm.
They figured it out. They figured out how to use sleeve compressors and everything. Like they were torquing everything to spec and everything, leaving dots on the bolts and
Oh, wow.
oh yeah, like they got right down into like building a motor.
Yeah.
And that was that was a really cool, because he came up to me at the end. He was like, I didn't think you were gonna last.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I definitely did not think you're gonna be able to sit there and build a motor with them, right? It's like I had to do it. Like I wasn't gonna say no, right? No, and then throughout the year, we just got to work on crazy stuff, like putting transmissions in Roadrunners, and we did a motor and a transmission in the Roadrunner, and then brakes all around on the Super B and stuff like that, and just normal cars came in and out all the time. It was customers would actually come in and get work done by the students.
So whose It was for school.
Yeah,
So who got the money?
the school.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So like it wasn't like a huge clientele or anything like that. It would be like the teachers or like some people like from the community and stuff like that would come and
That's
get their
interesting.
oil change done, their tires done.
Wow.
Yeah,
So the students are working for free.
pretty much.
And wow. And then this teacher is like, oh, my trans messed up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
come
yeah.
here. Swap it out, kids.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well,
That sounds a little close like jail. It's kind of the same concept of jail. But that's cool.
No,
That's
and-
super cool.
Yeah, because like we had him for 3 years all throughout high school.
That's a good gig for that teacher.
Oh yeah, being an old school muscle car guy and being like, I got 800 minions to take.
Yeah.
to
Oh,
build a
wow.
car, right? Yeah.
Oh, wow. So when you would build this motor, say that 302,
Yeah.
you would have to start it up and everything?
Some of them we did start up. Most of them weren't. They've been blown apart and taken back together hundreds of times. Like it's just some junk motor that kids blow apart, put back together, just to get the concept of this is how you take apart a motor.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So once it's all put back together, he just inspects it and
Yeah.
makes sure that everything.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
you
like
passed.
goes by and like, yeah, sweet. You
Got you.
You don't have extra bolts left. Good on
Got you. Okay,
Yeah,
got you. Okay, cool.
I think you're getting down to the point of using like plastic gauge and stuff like that to
Mhm.
make sure it's at the certain thou specness, and
Mm.
you went in depth with it, and it was really cool. And that was the second week into shop class
Mm.
in grade 10,
Okay,
and you were building motors,
got you.
and then the rest of it was just learning how to use a tire machine, balancers, and learning how to use acetylene torches, and just anything you could think of that was at our accessibility during school. Everything was snap-on tools for like because like Bone S is considered the hood, not complete hood. It's Forest Lawn and Bone S.
It's not the hood.
It's
You're
not the
using
hood.
snap-on
no.
tools.
No,
it's
not the hood.
It's
But
not the
like-
hood. I'm gonna tell you that
the school,
right
but
now.
like, no, like
no.
the community, the community
No.
itself, because the shop teacher.
I'll take you. I'll take you.
to the
I'll take you to the hood.
Yeah,
right
it's
after
different
this
out
pod.
here. Okay, it's different out here. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But like when he showed up, all our tools were in buckets,
Mm-hmm.
and he was the one that came to the school and went, "Okay, we need tools."
Yeah.
And he came back with 4 snap-on boxes and a whole bunch of.
Well, you got customers
Yeah.
making money with oil changes, having the kids do oil changes. That's how to pay off the snap-on
Yeah,
bill.
exactly. Yeah, the school bought a snap-on bill,
Oh
and
man.
apparently the kids were working to pay that one off.
Well, let me tell you about this. If that's the hood, if that bar is hood,
No,
we're
no.
bro. We didn't have none of that shit,
No.
dude.
And that's the reason he did it, though, because he was like, a lot of these kids, like a lot of the kids I grew up with, came from hard families and stuff like that. And he was like, okay, I want to show them some respect back.
For sure.
And this was how he showed respect back to the kids, was being, you'd do pizza parties and everything for like the whole school.
Oh wow.
Like he wouldn't even just be like, oh, by like mechanics and stuff like that. No, he would throw on these parties for the whole school.
So how many students would be at this school, roughly? Well, like your graduating class, maybe.
Do you know what our graduating class was?
Probably 400.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
So it's quite a small school.
I can't even think off the top of my head how many students were in ours.
Okay.
No, I can't
Yeah.
even think. So I don't know. I'm sure I was thinking like 57 or something like that. 400.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pizza, dude.
Yeah, no, like that was him, and that wouldn't come out of the school's pocket.
Gotcha.
That was that
Very
was that
cool.
man's money to show back, and like he'd make his special spaghetti sauce recipe. He would always make like jugs of this shit at
Oh,
the end of
wow.
the year, and just like be like, okay, whoever wants spaghetti and pop.
Did you ever find out where this motivation came from with him?
His mechanics teacher.
Got you.
Yeah, and like he will preach that to anyone. That's where it came from for him.
Got you.
Was his first mechanics teacher.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So the things that you learned in this class, were you able to take it and apply it to your other classes?
The motivational wise, yes. Like actually being there to succeed and finish projects type idea. Instead of, oh, I'll start this and then hand it in 4 months from now.
Gotcha.
Instead of, okay, you want this? Here, I actually have it done for you type
Gotcha.
idea. Yeah.
Okay. So what was your first car?
I had a 95 Tacoma.
95
95 Tacoma, 2-wheel drive, 5-speed, no power steering, no nothing.
That's a cool car.
I loved it. It was such a fun truck. And then we bought the Civic, and the Civic's, it drove around for a week before we started ripping it apart.
So that's the Civic that you still have.
Yeah, I mean, the one me and my dad have been building for who God knows, probably 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, and like it's gone down to a complete shell, like down to just metal.
Oh wow. So what made you go from learning on old school muscle cars and then going into like a Honda?
I've always loved the Japanese era and stuff like that, and a lot of my friends also were into that era and already had cars and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I've been seeing all these videos of K-swap Civics. Who knows? Probably sitting there at night watching YouTube videos and K-swap Civics came up. Got invested.
Got you.
And then this is funny how we actually got the car. I was on a school field trip and we're just leaving Bowness. See a gray Honda Civic hatchback with a for sale sign in the back of it. Go running after school down to this car and it has $1,100 in the window.
Oh, wow.
Rust-free, clean shell, runs and drives. It was like a 300,000 kilometer car and no rust. I was like, holy shit, this is... Because we've been looking for like 3-4 months now for one. Sure enough, get the guy's phone number, go back, call him. He's like, I need the car for an extra week. He's like, I gotta go to Red Deer and do all... Like, he was a rock geologist. I didn't say that right, but...
Geologist.
Geologist.
It's the Canada way.
Yeah.
It's all good.
And he's like, I need the car for an extra week. I was like, no worries. Like, go out, do your thing. Comes back, give him $1,100. He gives us $100 back. He's like, this is just for you guys being nice.
$1,000 car.
$1,000 car.
Oh my god.
And it was perfect. It was like if there was a car, the fine for a shell, it was that. And it was just a sweet car. The guy owned it since new, lived in Bowness his whole life as well. And then he was leaving the country. He was moving to like Peru or something.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I've sold everything. That was the last thing I owned in this country.
Dude, that is a come up, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah.
So it's an EK hatch?
EK hatch.
$1,000 EK hatch.
$1,000 EK
That's
hatch.
crazy, dude.
It's unheard of now.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even for like a beat ass shell.
Yeah.
Still paying like $3,000.
Yeah. It's and like we broke one bolt. There's one bolt that was seized on that whole car.
Wow. Well, I know a guy.
Yeah.
I know a guy if we need anything,
that
I
car,
know a guy.
I'm sure you've probably seen it, but the whole, like, we've done every single bolt in that car.
Oh, really?
There's 4 nuts left in that whole car that are OEM.
Wow. So what is your plan?
It started off as a track car, and it slowly turned into more of a show car.
Got you.
That's where it's leaning towards, but like I'm hoping to get to a point where I'm comfortable enough driving that car to actually bring it to the track and go and blast on it.
So like time attack kind of thing?
Yeah, time attack. We got a couple courses out in Alberta, but they're all 3-4 hours away from us.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing.
That's a ways.
Yeah, there's nothing close. So that's another thing that Calgary is really struggling with right now is having nowhere to go beat your cars up.
What about like a quarter-mile track?
Nope, they took rid of it. That's where as a kid I used to go there all the time. It was called Race City.
Okay.
And it was just on like the outskirts of Calgary or something like that. And every Saturday night it was $5 for spectators or whatever, and anyone wanted, it was like $30 a pull or something. You drive up to the window, here's $30, and they would like write a number in your car and you'd go. And
then you're set.
Yeah.
That's dope. Dude.
They had a full-on like time attack course there, a road course there as well, and a dirt oval.
You know what? Speaking of that, there's I think there's a track here, and I think like every Thursday night they'll have like a test and tune.
Yeah.
Night.
That's awesome.
But it's like, man, it's still like 2 hours away.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing anywhere close by us.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of in the same field as well.
Just go to the street.
Yeah, exactly.
Catch me on the freeway.
Yeah.
I can't do that stuff
anymore.
Usually what I do is I'll just get next to a car, break them off, and then let off.
Yeah.
That's it. That's just a little ego food.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. I fucked you off and now I'm good.
That's it. That's all I need.
Yeah.
You know what's been funny is Teslas. Because people who drive Teslas think they're the fastest thing in the world.
I've noticed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've noticed no one gives a fuck about the speed limit here. Hey?
Oh, no.
We're driving down the highway, like, just getting blasted. I'm
85.
like, yeah.
I go 85
everywhere.
all day.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, why would you go slower?
Yeah, well, it's crazy.
I got places to go. I got things to fucking do. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like everyone back home, we cruise around at like $110, $120, right? And you coming out here and everyone's past it because like, what's the speed limit?
65.
65.
65 on the freeway.
That's like 120.
I don't know. 120.
Yeah, 120. So like that's our speeding.
Okay.
It's like 120, 130. That's our
Oh
cruising.
my god.
That's our cruising. There's people blasting us doing 90 down the freeway. You're like, oh my Jesus.
I drive 85 just.
Yeah.
Just because, dude.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't drive slow.
No.
Like that car just wants to go.
Oh fuck.
It just wants to
run.
run.
Blown back.
You know?
Yeah.
No, hell no, dude. Yeah, I'll get like next to a Tesla and I could see them driving like trying to be fast behind me, and it's already been a few times where I've been on their bumper.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get away and I'm just on it.
Awesome.
I'm like, and then they just go to the side.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, get out of here.
Upset.
Go charge, pussy.
Yeah.
Go charge up, pussy. But yeah, I try not to be racing anymore, dude.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. Mom 38. You're 19.
Yeah.
Live life. Love life,
yeah.
you know? Be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful in the streets. So, when was it that you decided that, maybe I should open up a shop?
We were working with a company called RZ Crew out in Japan.
RZ Crew?
RZ Crew.
Okay.
It was when we ordered our intake and stuff through them and a whole bunch of different parts. And then one day they put out a post like, hey, we're looking for international distributors. Kind of sent, hey, would be interested. And just like not even really thinking about it, right? Be like, cool, we're going to sell a little bit of parts here and there. And then they're like, oh, that would actually be really good because they're completely opposite of the country or world.
The world, yeah.
Yeah. And a month or two goes by then they're like, okay, build a website, do this. And we built the website. They loaded us, like, gave her the CSV files and stuff like that and built a website out of it. And then they're like, okay, so here's your login account. You guys now sell parts. And that was our very first supplier.
So what type of parts were they?
It was a lot of like the Cusco brand, Bride, and then they had their own line of parts as well called their RZ Crew line.
Okay.
They did intakes, coils. There's tons and tons of parts. You could do wheels, seats, arms, coils, the endless, like pretty much whatever you could think of for your Japanese car, they carried.
Got you.
And then once we had that covered, and I started moving a little bit of their parts. I had a lot of people started asking about American Muscle and trucks and stuff like, because that's Alberta. American Muscle and trucks is huge out there, and I didn't have any of their parts. So we started looking into different suppliers inside of Calgary and stuff like that. And now we're sitting at 4 aftermarket suppliers inside of Calgary. Well, inside of Canada, I should say. Most of them have warehouses here, but some of them don't. And right now we sit at about just under 500 aftermarket companies that we carry.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's really hard to explain to someone when someone goes, "What do you carry?" And you're like, "Everything."
So you have access to all
I have access to everything now.
Got
like we don't stock like a huge amount of stuff, but I have access to everything.
Okay. Got you.
Because like back home, there's the Walmart, we call it, for aftermarket parts. You got your JB Power Center, you got your Mopac and stuff like that. Everyone has the exact same shit in their showrooms. You come by our shop, we have that Walmart variety of parts, but you walk in and it's status, Downstar, PLM. That's what mostly is on display right now. And no, everyone's like, where's this stuff from? Like, we've never seen this. It's not out here. What is it? You get to explain to them that, oh, you want to make your car 10 times cooler? We got you covered. You got your seats, your bolts, your exhaust, your headers, and like they make the shifters and stuff like that from PLM. That's when ones that we've been really starting to push is the PLM stuff.
Got you.
Just because you get the headers, the intakes, the valve covers, and all that stuff. And especially like at the last show we went to, a lot of people actually knew Downstar.
Oh, really?
And that was the first time.
Oh, wow.
I had a couple people like, oh, sweet, you got Downstar and stuff like at different shows. And then a whole bunch of these people are going, oh my God, I didn't know you guys carried Downstar.
Oh, wow.
They're like, this is awesome. And then a lot of it was the last show we went to, a lot of people were like, we didn't even know you guys existed. They're like, you guys are so new out in this side of the city. He's like, we had no clue you guys existed.
Yeah.
And that was good to know. And like, we ran out of business cards that day. That was Saturday last week. Like, people were just starting to come out.
Good for you.
Yeah, no, that one was a big, huge, like what you say, like an ego boost.
Yeah.
It, right. And working with that shop, Rev'd, they've been a huge promoter of us and as well. And like, even they send a lot of their customers to us for the parts, and then we send it back to them for the install and stuff like that. So there's a lot of good relationships built.
Gotcha.
Just on working together.
So you link up with this Japanese brand. You become a distributor for them. Where in Japan are they?
Singapore.
Okay, got you. Where is that in relation to?
I couldn't tell you.
I just know Tokyo.
Yeah.
Tokyo and Osaka.
Yeah.
And that's it. When was this? When you finally started the website and started working with them?
Grade 11, so that was 2018.
2018. Okay, so that's kind of like random thing to be in.
Yeah, like
11th grade, and
it was spur of the moment, right? Just kind of sitting there, and they're like, "Oh, we're looking for distributors." I was like,
so what made you even think about it, like that you could do it, or that you wanted to do it, or?
My biggest thing was because like there's always that great feeling of when you buy car parts and you open your door and there's a box of shiny pieces.
Yeah,
they're waiting for you to go in your fun car, right? And I was like, well, if I buy all of these car parts from who God knows where everywhere else, why can't I start selling it to people that also start with their car, like start building cars and stuff like that? So my biggest thing was Calgary has a very small variety of shops to go to. There's not many shops in Calgary that actually have the aftermarket parts supply. And that was one of the things. There's not a hole in the market, but there is at the same time. And that's where at grade 11, I wasn't thinking that much about it. I was like, oh, you know what? This might just be a side hustle. And then slowly over the years with acquiring more suppliers and stuff like that, it became my full-time job.
Got you.
And now I quit my full-time job at the beginning of this year to go and do this completely full-time.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
That's huge, bro.
Yeah. And yeah, that was huge ego boost for being able to do this now full-time.
So how many jobs have you had?
I had 3.
And what were they?
First one was sweeping garbage at the Stampede in Calgary. It's that Dad was saying about. It's the
rodeo?
Yeah, the 10-day long party.
Okay.
Yeah, 10-day long party. I swept garbage there.
Did you ever find anything crazy in the garbage?
No. And it surprised me because like that place, it's a 10-day bender for a lot of people.
That's crazy. Cowgirls,
cowboys, buddy. It's a great time.
Crazy.
And they do all like the big beer tents and everything, and like like a lot of it's music events.
Yeah.
And then like the rodeo and stuff like that. But like for a lot of like the kids in Calgary and stuff, it's all the music events and all these different beer tents and the beer gardens and this and that. But yeah.
So you were working that?
I was working that. I was 13 years old when I got my first job. And it was sweeping that for the week. I got my first paycheck. Bought car parts with the first paycheck. Type idea. And then after that was a year or 2 after I did Toys R Us as a cashier over the Christmas like season.
They're still around?
There's one left in Alberta.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think so.
They're gone from here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Toys R Us is donezo, dude.
Yeah. No, that one closed probably 2-3 years ago now. But yeah, that was the second job. And then my mom and my grandma worked at a spa close to home for the last 10-15 years, something like that. And I jokingly told my mom one day, I was like, you guys need a towel holder? And I got a text halfway during my day at school that she's like, you're coming to work tonight. You got a job.
Oh, wow.
It was grade 10, like first week of school, and folded towels for $14.50 an hour. After school, go there, do your 6-hour shift, and go back home.
That's not bad.
No, and it was a good gig, especially through a high school, paid insurance and all that, and had lunch, insurance covered. And I left there to go work at Honda after high school.
Okay.
I started as a lot boy at like it was first week out of school. I sent one of our parts guys that I worked with. I was like, hey, is there an opening?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, oh, we're looking for a lot kid. I was like, perfect. Go do
What is that?
You drive cars through the car wash and park cars.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, you just...
What the hell did they call those here?
Lot lizard?
That's something totally different.
I know.
Oh my god, the word I can't think of it. But
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Lot boy.
Lot boy.
Lot boy.
Yeah, there's all sorts. When you come into the technicians, you're like, oh, here's your key. And they have some names for you.
Oh, okay. Not a lot. Hopefully not a lot lizard.
Oh, no, you got called it once or twice. But
yeah.
you're over here like, hey, listen here. I am not at the truck stop. I can tell you that right now. Yeah.
So you're working at Honda.
I was working at Honda. I did the lot kid position for about 9 months. And within the interview, my manager already knew that I wanted to go into the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And he finally came up to me one day and he was like, okay, your first training day is today.
Nice.
And then I'd say a month and a half later of being in and out of the shop, still doing the lot boy stuff and working in the shop with them. Next thing you know, he comes in, he's like, here's your key to your toolbox.
Oh, wow.
A toolbox, a lift, and everything. And I did that for a year and a half. I got my blue book. I got all my hours and stuff like that. And it was a crazy experience. Because like coming out of high school, working on all the cars that I have and stuff like that already, I had a really good experience going into there compared to some of the other apprentices that were starting. And the manager figured this out real quick because within the first week, he's like, here's a timing belt, water pump, and an oil pump. I just filled my toolbox with like home tools, right? And I was like, you really trust me to do that?
Oh, wow.
He was like, yeah. And then from there on, I got tossed a whole bunch of big jobs for being an apprentice. Like I did motors, transmissions, whole bunch of stuff. In a year and a half of working there, I worked on pretty much everything you could have.
But this is totally different than the stuff that you learned in school. So how are you learning about these newer Honda motors?
I had a journeyman.
Gotcha.
Like we shared a bay, but he had his own lift. I had my own lift, and a lot of it was. I look at it as big. I look at a big boy Lego. That's the way I look at cars. It's just big boy Lego. If it comes apart one way, it goes back together one way.
For sure.
And and a lot of time it would be like, hey, what do I got to do before I take this off? And eventually, after you get the rundown of like timing belts on the V6 Hondas was one of the bigger jobs, but you could break it down into 45 minutes. I was watching people do a water pump and timing belt in 45 minutes.
Wow.
Just lickety split with it, but like I was never that fast. I think my fastest T-belt was like 2 hours.
Gotcha.
And that's still quick for.
That's still for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of it was you'd eventually just get in the rhythm of it, and then talking to him, being like, okay, this is the job I pulled. What do I gotta do to get to this point of actually doing this job?
Gotcha.
Give you a little run through, and then if you had questions, go over and ask them and stuff like that. But for the majority, I just kind of sent it for the majority of it.
Gotcha. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So what made you start working at 13?
I've always wanted a job. Like as a kid, I always wanted to work. I always wanted my own money. I always wanted to be able to do my own stuff with my own money. That was one of my biggest things, was being able to do what I wanted to do with my money and not feel bad about it.
Did you have any sort of allowance, or how did you acquire money before then?
Allowance, doing stuff around the house. A lot of it, like I used to sell video games here and there back as a kid.
Okay.
Just like Kijiji, have an X amount of video games, and you're like, I don't play this one anymore. Go away, and then go buy another one or something like that.
Got you. So, what are some of your earliest hustles, or exchanging certain goods for
Traded Hot
money?
Wheels a lot.
Okay.
In elementary, that was one of the big things. You'd show up a handful of Hot Wheels, be like, oh, this one's way better than yours, so I'll trade you this shittier one that I got for that. And like
opened or
opened and in case. Like
okay.
I still have cases from when I was in elementary.
Gotcha.
Like in case and everything. All of us became very big Hot Wheel collectors type
Gotcha.
idea. Yeah, that was probably the earliest. I never got into like the trading cards or anything like that. It was always Hot Wheels, or actually there's one. It was Blade. There's these little things you used to throw out and they'd land on a magnet and they'd open up into a shape of sorts. I can't remember what they were called.
Okay.
But we started trading those, and that's like early, and then a lot of it was just starting out at the Stampede. Like, okay, sweet. I didn't have to go to work. It was an option.
Gotcha.
Is the best way to put it. And I wanted to get the experience, and that was one because like at that age, I didn't think I was going to be doing this. I was 12 years old. I was like, oh, sweet. I'm just going to work, right?
Is that like a normal thing in Calgary? Like
for,
about that age?
So for like a lot of like for a good amount of people, they already have done some sort of work.
Gotcha.
By the time they're 14.
So you say it's like farmish kind of area?
The city is city, and then as soon as you get out of like the northwest, it's farmy.
So do you feel like people already start at a young age, having things that they gotta take care of?
Yeah, and like a lot of kids that like I have one really close buddy, and he is Leduc. Leduc's another. It's like 2-ish hours away from Calgary. That's where he grew up.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up feeding chickens and taking chicken eggs out of the coop at 5 years old. Like that was his life. He would go, okay, gotta go grab breakfast for the family.
Oh, gotcha.
Let me go grab the eggs out of there, and like working on pig farms and stuff like that. That's what his life was.
Yeah.
By like 8 years old, he was making a paycheck.
So what was your life like? Like about 8 years old.
8 years old, I was riding my bike around the neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah, hanging out with friends and stuff like that, and going down to the river because we got a river that runs right through Bowness there, and that was me at 8 years old. Was out riding my bike, riding downhill mountain biking at Wind Sport.
Pretty safe.
Yeah, we definitely come out with a couple bangs up and stuff like that.
But like the area,
it's hit and miss.
Gotcha.
It all really depends on who you put yourself
for
around.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You could go through your whole life living in Bowness without ever having yourself in a shitty situation, or you're one of the kids that is doing X, right?
Got you.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward a little bit. You get that. You talk to the company in Japan.
Yeah.
Distribution. When you started the website, what was the website called, or what was the distribution called?
We sat there for about a week trying to make a name, and that was where Midnight Auto Garage came up.
Gotcha.
So it's actually always been Midnight Auto Garage Incorporated.
So where did the name come from?
The notepad. There was a notepad with 800 names on it, and then it was kind of seeing what was taken in Calgary, what wasn't taken, and then we found Midnight Auto Garage was actually an other old mechanic shop 15 years ago in Calgary, and they went bankrupt or not sure what happened. They didn't exist anymore. So that was one of the first ones that came around. I was like, we can take that name.
Gotcha. And when you say we, who is that?
Me and my father.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, like my dad's been a huge part of this company with me because when I started this, I was 17 years old. I couldn't sign a legal document.
For sure.
So that's where a lot of it came together with me working with my father.
So tell me about that. You get this message or what have you from the company in Japan, and you're like, oh, this will be cool. Like, did you approach your dad and told him about this idea?
I messaged them, and then he messaged me right after. He's like, hey, did you see what RZ Crew just put on their story? And I was like, yeah, it was an Instagram story.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I messaged him. I was like, I'd kind of be interested in doing it, right? Like, for sure sell car parts. Everyone needs a car part.
Yeah.
And then we kind of talked about it, and slowly throughout building it, I had a buddy come on at one point, and then he kind of lost the vision of the company type idea, and he backed out of it. No hard feelings, no nothing, and he backed out of it. And then it was solely just me and my dad working on it.
Gotcha.
And over that, he's been a huge help, because when I was younger, I was very nervous. Like when it would come to like, when I was 17, I wouldn't be able to sit here and have this podcast. I'd be sitting here freaking out. Not like bad, but like I would be freaking out, right?
Yeah. And
not being able to talk to people and have the respect of a company owner when dad would call, they'd be like, oh, okay, this is an actual dude on the other side of the phone. It's not some kid that's in high school sitting here trying to sell car parts too.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And throughout the last couple years, I come to him if I ever need any sort of advice or what should I do, or I'm having this issue, he's the first phone call. Being okay, like, what do I do with this? He might not know either, but we'll work together through it. And there's always, you need someone like that on your team where you can call and be like, okay, we're fucked, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I found this email in our email and we're fucked. What do we do about it?
Someone in the trenches with you.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's cool that you guys have that relationship.
Yeah. And like he's got his own gig and everything like that. He works. He has his own, one of his biggest things. He looks at me, he's like, I have my own career.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, this is for you. This is what you want to do, and I will help you get there.
Yeah.
And that's like straight from the heart. I always try to find a way to tell him I appreciate it, but it's always so hard when you're sitting there like, okay, like I get it, like you're my father and stuff like that, but it's hard to come to him and be like, dude, I appreciate this. Like, I wholeheartedly appreciate this. And I, even just the other night, I came up to him, it was after the car show, and I go, dude, you just sat at a car show with me for 8 hours. Like, I don't know a lot of other fathers that would actually have the motivation to sit at a car show with their kid for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And just chill out, sell car parts all day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It definitely is rare.
Yeah.
You know, especially for a dad to take interest in his son's whatever he's got going on, you know?
Yeah. And like I got a lot of friends and stuff like that where their parents are very supportive of it, but at the same time, they're not in the nit and gritty with it.
For sure.
Well. Yeah.
For sure. Oh, very cool,
Yeah.
man. So you guys are working side by side on this.
Yeah, and then like when he's up north, like even when he's home, he has a home life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna deny that he has a home life, and he needs to have the home. I got a little 9-year-old sister at home and my mom and stuff like that. He needs to be around them.
Yeah.
So it's mostly me that runs it, but at the same time, he's always there. He's always there for either a phone call or a backup or anything. Like he'll go out and do deliveries or he'll go do pickups and stuff like that. And it always like there's a nice middle ground with us.
Yeah.
Compared to me just doing it solely.
For sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about like your customers. So now that you have the shop, you have access to all these brands. Walk me through like how a sale goes, because from my side of things, almost everything that we do is online.
Yes.
So like I was showing you, we'll get the invoice, pack the order, ship it out, and that's it.
Yeah.
So how do things look on your end?
A lot of it is walk-in customers.
Okay.
And like either sending us an email or a message being like, hey, can I come in and actually sit down and have a conversation with you about what I want to order? And then you sit there, you make a list with the guy, and it's either, if it's an easy list, you can go around to put it up on the computer quick and then send him it, like show him this is what you owe me. Or a lot of the time is a customer will come in, give me a list of what they need. I'll be like, okay, here's a card, go to Tim Hortons or something, go hang out for a bit, give me a couple minutes and I'll shoot you off an invoice.
Gotcha.
And then that's a lot of how it goes down. Like we've slowly been getting a lot more online orders, just random. It still makes me laugh to this day when I get an order that's online. I'm like, who, where, like what is this, right? I get a ding on my phone. I'm like, huh?
Got you.
Because like a lot of it is just solely done in person.
Got you.
That's what.
So what stops the customer from just ordering it themselves?
Our website.
Got you.
That's and all that we really have to do work on our website, because it gets a little, when you're trying to pinpoint the exact, like when you're trying to go through and filter by like year, make, model and stuff like that, we don't have that fully set up. Like you go onto someone else's website and you punch in year, make, model, and it gives you all the parts for that year, make, model. That we're looking into bringing on someone to do our website for us, just because it's so much in the background that it would be cool to say like, oh, we built this and we did that, but I know someone's gonna make this look 10 times better than I ever could.
For sure. Now, I guess what I mean is, what stops the actual customer from just going online somewhere else and ordering and getting delivered to them?
A lot of it is being able to support local.
Okay.
Like that's a huge thing back home, is small businesses or even just people supporting each other locally. Like a lot of people that come in are also small business owners. They're like, oh, I saw you guys are very like small business and local. He's like, I'd much rather support you than the big monster that's selling all the parts 8 blocks away. Got you. Yeah.
Okay. So how much do you feel that customer service plays a part into the success of your brand?
Huge. That's been one of our biggest things. Is I've always, like, even for when I call places and my customer support's shit, I'll tell the guy, be like, hey, like, you suck. Like, I did not enjoy this phone call. And that's been a huge part of my end, is just being nice and try to keep it somewhat on a personal level, even if you don't know the person.
Yeah.
If you have no clue who this person is, ask them how their day went, ask them where they're from or whatever, stuff like that. Kind of just keep it on a personal level so they don't feel like you're sitting there trying to gyp them for their $8,000 worth of parts.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, where did you acquire this skill out of customer service?
Mostly learned, but at the same time, my father's a really good speaker. And for first year or two, I kind of sat back in the corner and was the man behind the curtain. I would sit there and watch him talk and watch how he talked with people. Because at 17 years old, you've never talked to a 40-year-old dude that's trying to give you $15,000 for car parts. You're sitting there shaking by the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And now it's a lot easier for me to look at someone and have a steady conversation and not just try to pull shit out of my ass, for an example.
Now, what are some of the types of cars that you guys specialize in?
We sell quite a bit of the Honda parts. The Honda community is really starting to grow inside of Calgary, and it's awesome to see because we're all Honda boys at heart. Yeah. And when I first bought the EK, there was no one else really doing those builds, and then you could slowly see it starting to pick up, and now there's actual Honda meets and stuff like that. Like my old dealership does a Honda meet every year.
Oh wow!
Then it's Honda Acura strictly only.
Very
and
cool.
They get like 100 and something cars in, if not maybe a little less. But it's all about finally bringing people together, because Calgary was in a weird spot 2-3 years ago in the car community. Everyone was at each other's throats for no good reason either. Shows were getting shut down and just like beef between car groups and this and that. It was just a big drama filled pool in the car scene. Now everyone's finally like, fuck the drama. Let's all be fucking friends. We're all here to do the same thing. Yeah. Have fun, drive our cars.
So since you've become a business owner, how has that impacted your personal life and your friends and family and things like that?
It has shown you who's out there to either help you or push you to succeed, and who's there that doesn't actually give a flying fuck about you. And I've definitely not lost friends, but taken a step back with friendships with people just because they don't see the vision or they're not very supportive of it and stuff like that. And that's just the noise I don't want in my life, is a noise. Someone's like, oh well, you can't come out and do this because you're working on your company. Well, no shit. I want to make this grow. There's no reason for me to go and do this if I actually have shit to do, right? Yeah. And that was a big thing for me to overcome, being young and everyone's out partying and everyone's doing this, everyone's doing that, and being able to sit back and be like, this is going to suck for the next 5 years, but in the 5 years from now, I'm going to be laughing at all that.
Have you ever personally seen somebody grow a brand or a business?
No. I've never, there's not one person like that's like close wise sat there and watched them sit there and grow, watch a business.
So what gives you like that confidence that you putting in this work is gonna pay off?
Watching like people like yourself and a lot of the other companies that started out in the same type of idea. There's a hole here, let's do something about it, and look at you guys now. You guys got this beautiful space. And you got a lot of clientele. You got all the beautiful cars and stuff like that. And that was a huge inspiration. And watching different companies, like you look around and then there's like the JB's Power Center is a company inside of Calgary. And they have a ginormous storefront. And all they do is sell car parts. They have a shop in the back, but majority is it just car parts. And seeing that and knowing there's someone that actually owns that. Yeah. It's crazy to see that. That was my biggest eye opener, is there's somebody that started this that was a kid or a middle-aged dude that was like, you know what, we're gonna do this. Yeah. And that's huge for me. And working at the dealership really taught me that I don't want to work for anyone. For sure. Because like don't get me wrong, management wasn't terrible there, but it just showed me that, okay, I'm a number to you. Why would I even told my manager when I left, I was like, why would I help this company grow when I have my own company on the side that I could possibly make this my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then he understood it, but at the same time, he's sitting there trying to do the corporate manager and be like, oh, well, we need you to help us grow and stuff like that. And I was like, you can find someone else to replace me. You honestly could care less if I leave right now or not.
So yeah, let's talk about that. When you told me that you put in your 2 weeks, like, lead me up to that.
So, long story, we can get into it. I got put in the hospital. I had myopericarditis. The sac around your heart gets inflamed.
Okay.
Out of nowhere, I was at work one day and I was like, my chest hurts. And I wake up the next morning, I was like, oh, my chest really hurts. And I got asthma and stuff like that. So I just went to the urgent care and I was like, oh, I need like a puffer and steroids. Like, have you ever had your heart checked? No, 19 years old. And they checked my heart. They're like, okay, that's not supposed to be there. I was like, huh? Come around the corner. They're like, here's 8 aspirin. The ambulance is on the way to get you.
Oh, shit.
I was like, I looked at the nurse. I was like, oh, so like this is like serious, eh? And she looks at me. She's like, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And like, you know, like they just, long story short, they put me on anti-inflammatories and just a whole bunch of just like little things and keeping pills to keep your liver good from all the other shit you're taking.
Mm-hmm.
Put you on that for 3 months and you're not allowed to do anything. And so I was like, oh shit, like they wouldn't let me go back to Honda for 3 months. And then I came out of the hospital and the powder coater I work with hit me up and he's like, hey, I found this new storefront with a bay on the back. Do you want to go in together and buy it?
So this was just some buddy that you had, or?
Yeah, it was one of the companies that we worked with for we started sending all of our product out to him, like our EK build, to get all the arms powder coated, the subframe and stuff like that. We created a good relationship with him and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And then we've always kind of talked about maybe going together on a place. And then he sends me this link and he goes, look at this. So it was 12,000 square feet building, 9,000 or 10,000 square foot shop in the back and a 2,000 square foot storefront in the front. And he was like,
wait, how big is the storefront?
2,000 square
foot. Oh, wow. That's a
nice
size.
It is quite a big storefront.
Okay.
And it's like split into 2. So there's like the main room, side room, and then there's the back shop as well. Okay. But yeah, so he hit me up and he was like, look at this place. And then I would say a month after that is when we got the keys to the place. And I still wasn't working at Honda.
So you were taking a break.
I was taking a break because of the stuff that happened with my heart and stuff like that. And I started pushing I started to focus a lot more on midnight.
As you're off of your job.
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, okay, well, if I'm doing nothing, I might as well actually do something with it, right? Mm-hmm. And midnight was at an idle area. Like, we were still doing sales, but we weren't also like promoting and putting ourselves out there and actually trying to grow. So I took that and I was like, okay, we have to do something with this. I have three months off. I didn't even know if I was actually going back to work. So I was like, I got to do something. So that's where we bought the shop and I started promoting a lot more and going to shows and doing all the stuff. And then I had to go back to work. We were doing really good sales. We had really good months going while I was off. And they're like, hey, we need you to come back. Go back. Our sales dropped probably 50% my first month back at Honda. And then I called my dad. I was like, I can't do both full time. I was like, my one phone's ringing, the manager's yelling at me at the other ear, right? And I looked at him and was like, I think I'm finally in a position where I can quit this full time and take the ball and run with it. Mm-hmm. And that's when I sent you the message. Like, hey man, I'm thinking about putting my 2 weeks in. And then the next day I put my 2 weeks in.
And what did they say?
They're like, why, where are you going? Like, you're supposed to be going to school and getting your ticket done and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm too busy. I was like, this place fucking sucks and I'm too busy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like I didn't leave like butting heads with anyone or anything like that. But like I told them, I was like, I can't. Like,
for sure.
There's some mornings I wake up, I don't want to fucking come here.
Yeah.
I got a car on my hoist when I first get there. No, I don't want to touch that thing, right?
So before you had the storefront, how are you selling parts?
It was word of mouth. A lot of it was just like friends, family, and stuff like that, and just random emails and phone calls and stuff like that. A lot of it was just word of mouth. Like a lot, like our first sale came through the website after the storefront. And like leading up to that, it was just family, friends, and word of mouth.
Wow, that's crazy. That's like super old school, dude.
Yeah, like I that's one thing I will say is like we brought it when we started. It wasn't. I didn't think I was gonna get to where I am right now.
Yeah.
And finally, as I saw it starting to grow and stuff like that's when I was like, okay, this is it. Like I got to take the ball and run with it.
You know, it's crazy because, like I was saying, how we do business here is everything through the website. But I would love for somebody to come in and be like, hey, can you get me this and this, this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, here, I'll pay you. All right, it'll be in a week and a half.
Yeah.
When people order stuff from me that we don't have in stock or that we don't necessarily sell or advertise that we sell, it's a very strange concept to me. Because I think like, well, why wouldn't you just buy it from their website?
Yeah.
You know, that's my first thought, and that's why I was asking you that. Like, I've had some customers that wanted to buy. We sell these caps. They're from a company called Golden Wrench. They're in the BMW community.
I saw them.
I'm like, the guy wanted to buy the caps, and he's like, I'll pay you for them now. Like, okay, they'll be in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you just go to their website and buy them? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But I would love that.
It's a great feeling because like even just the week before I left here, I had some guy come down and he ordered injectors, a Honda had a map sensor, and a whole bunch of other shit. And he literally called me in the morning. He's like, "Hey, I just noticed you guys are 2 blocks away from my shop. Do you mind if I stop by and chat with you?" I was like, "Yeah, 100%." And then he walked out, or he paid. We went through a list. He paid for the parts, and I said, "Hey, they'll be here in a week or two." Got here in a week or two, and he just came back and he left his phone number, right? And I called him, and he just came back, picked them up, and he said, from now on, he's like, "I'll pop by here if I ever need anything."
That's crazy, dude. I wonder if there's like, if people would do that here, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if like, because
Like,
I've never even offered it.
Is that, yeah, like, have you ever, like, told people come by, get your bolts, or...
Yeah, I mean, we have the storefront, so people will stop by and they'll buy bolts, or they'll bring some bolts and swap them out, or what have you, you know? But I've never thought about it, like, because I have relationships with all these companies.
Yeah.
So I can easily hit up, like, a Hassport or something. Be like, hey, I need some mounts.
Yeah.
But it's just... It never made sense to me, because then I would have to worry about, you know, shipping them out and things like that. But it would be cool to have people that would come by the shop and give me a whole laundry list of things.
Yeah, and it's sick because like a lot of it, not strictly, like it's all inside of Canada that we do sell to, but a lot of it's just Alberta. And like a lot of people, the farthest people are ordering from are Edmonton. Edmonton's 3 hours from Calgary.
I guess where the big difference would be is the country, because we're in the U.S., so they can order it from wherever.
Oh, I would love to be out here to order car parts, man.
But yeah, I
go
could
on a website, free shipping, free this, free that. You're like, what? And then you're like, oh, I'm from Canada. They're like, oh yeah, that doesn't apply to you, by the way.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
but yeah, okay.
And that's one of my biggest features that I like to be on is be the one person inside of Calgary or inside of Canada, not one, but there is few, to be like, I'll consider you incentives if you're from Canada. Like
gotcha.
Offer you free shipping, or if you're inside of Calgary, I'll deliver to you. Even if you spent $5 on who knows what, $5 on, I'll drop it off to your door.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and just keeping that relationship with people and offering that, I feel like also opens up a lot of respect. Not respect, but like customer service with the customer.
For sure. Yeah, customer service is huge, man. Because at the end of the day, like, times are tough right now.
Yeah.
You know, and people, they're trying to figure out like how they're gonna make it.
Yes.
You know, and none of this stuff is necessary. No. None of these car parts are necessary. You want to make sure that, you know, they feel good when they're spending the money.
Exactly. And like there's always a way to take care of a customer, even if it's giving them something extra or just taking care of them. Yeah. Like having them know that there's no stress on this. You order your part, you have your part, I'll come and drop it off your door the day it shows up.
That's cool, man. Yeah. That's really cool. So when you get these parts that come in that you order, does it feel good?
Oh, it's awesome. It feels great to be like come by someone's place or something, or someone even come by to you and grab the handful of parts that they just ordered. Yeah. I remember the first time I dropped off a part, I was sitting there shaking at someone's door, right? A little credit card machine in my hand, sitting there shaking at the door. Yeah. And the guy comes out, giggles, right? Because he was like, And 18-year-old kid sitting on my front doorstep of a fucking turbo manifold.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool, man.
And like a lot of the sales, like before the storefront were coming, we do OE replacement as well. So a lot of it was that, like just like brakes, oil changes, and I was also doing stuff for like inside the family, like idea, like, oh, you need brakes, so like buy the person will come by and do your brakes for you.
Gotcha.
And that was a huge incentive for like family and friends and stuff like that.
Nice, dude. So what does your future look like in your head?
The future is to be able to sell the parts and also run a shop. And that could be anywhere from just like your daily driver, you need your brakes done, you need your oil change done. Sweet, that's what the front shop's for.
Gotcha.
And then Midnight Auto Garage comes into the back shop. I really want to get into the world of building cars for people. And building cars and bringing them to auction and stuff like that. That's the retirement.
Gotcha.
Is building cars and bringing them to auction and stuff like that. That's where I want to be at some point, and have Midnight Auto Garage supplying the shop, supplying the customers still, and grow a bigger powerhouse type of idea.
So 5 years from now, boom, we're there. 5
Yeah.
years from, what does it look like? Exactly.
5 years from now,
You just pulled up.
5 years from now, it will be the shop. There's this little old mechanic shop right across the street from my place. That's been there since the 50s.
So you get out of your car, you look over at your old shop, take a drink of your coffee, then you look at the new shop.
Yeah.
Boom. Walk in the door with me, dude. What's everything look like?
It would be nice to, like, I want to have a not fancier, but like a clean, modern showroom.
What kind of floor do we got?
We got epoxy, like marble epoxy floor, white, not like quartz, but like who knows, like some sort of wrap or something on the table that looks like marble, or a real marble table. If we're at that point, we're at that point. Yeah.
Wherever you want to be at, bro. Over there, marble table.
Yeah, and then like you do like the glass display cabinets and stuff like that, and then the shop, who knows how many lifts or what's going on, but spick, span, clean, and a running powerhouse of either just your daily driver replacement or building race cars for people. Race cars, restorers, anything, right? That's where I want to be.
That's what you got to do, bro. You got to visualize every single thing.
Yeah.
Every aspect of it. Of you putting the key in that door, turning off that alarm. Yeah. You know? Turning on those lights.
Yeah. That was like the first day walking into the new shop, like, because we did a whole bunch of paint. We painted all the walls. We did the roofs. Like, we took a week and tore the whole place. The baseboards were replaced. We sat there, painted 500 feet of baseboard, and painted every single wall in the place, painted the roofs and everything, just to get it to a fresh start. To be able to come in and a customer be like, oh, wow, like, it's really nice in here. And, like, the floor is all tile flooring and everything. And, like, it's actually, like, it's nice to walk in and have this nice storefront.
Now, is this something that you show on any of your social medias?
Yeah, like on our Instagram and stuff, we do have a good walkthrough of our showrooms.
So who runs your social media? Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what is your approach with social media?
I'm slowly just starting to figure it out. I want to be able to promote our more exclusive brands like you and Status and PLM. That's what I really want to promote, but also be able to show that we also have 500 other brands that sell anything you could ever need. And like I just made a brochure, I made a brand catalog and stuff like that, and I'm figuring out how to build that into posts. I will say the one thing I do struggle with is social media. Just figuring out posts and stuff like that, writing a caption, doing this, and figuring out what you want to do that day and find a way to still make it promote. Yeah. But at the same time, I think there's also that incentive of just posting something and being like, how's everyone's day going?
So what stops you from doing, or what do you feel is one of your challenges?
Just not even negative feedback, just seeing a post not do good is just one of those things where it's like, fuck, what did I do wrong with that post type idea. Gotcha. And then that sits there and resonates while you're making your next post or something like that. But I'm starting to get over the fact of who gives a fuck what someone thinks, right?
For sure. It's an easy thing, you know, like you could get a post up and you could be like, damn, that post didn't do good.
Yeah.
But how would you know
if you didn't post it?
If you never, you know?
Yeah.
If you never did it.
Yeah.
How would you know, you know? Yeah. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
And that's it, dude.
Yeah, and like,
you know,
I really want to start.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know? That's it.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It's as easy as that. Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Whether it goes or whether it doesn't, you're feeding it.
Yes.
You got to feed the machine.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
And people need to see what you're doing.
Yes.
Every single day.
It's the consistency of your company.
For sure. You walk in there. All right. This order came in.
Yeah.
Take a picture of it.
Yeah. Put it on your story.
Take a reel of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be 4K. It doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
You just do it.
Yeah.
You post every single day. Somebody's going to see it and they're going to be like, oh, wow. I could get my fuel rail from midnight.
Yeah.
Let me go walk by there.
Yeah.
Let me order that up.
Yeah.
That's it. You know?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
One of the biggest things about business is like, you just got to get out of your own way. You know? Who's going to say something? Somebody's going to say something to you when they're on break at their job.
Yeah.
What the fuck does it matter? They're at work, bro.
Yeah.
You have your own business.
Yeah.
You know? I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. It's tough.
It's just getting over the whole fact of, oh, what does someone think about that?
For sure.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And I've been there, and, you know, I still struggle with it to this day. But then I don't.
Yeah.
You know, there's two Franks that are out there. You know, the Frank is very humble.
Yeah.
You know, and wants to. This is the professional way that I represent myself.
Yeah.
Right. But this is me.
Yeah.
This is me. And like we said,
Yeah.
well, if 10 people listen to it or 10,000 people, it doesn't matter.
No.
Like if you want to find the most genuine me, this is me, because
Yeah.
I can't bullshit for an hour and a half.
No.
You know? And I started this company from nothing.
Yes.
From just selling bolts.
Yeah.
What the fuck is anybody else going to tell me that clocks in?
Yeah.
They ain't going to tell me nothing.
No.
You know? I got 7 palm trees, bro.
I saw that.
I got 7 fucking palm trees. You know, I just bought the tool.
Yeah.
To cut the leaves. What the hell is anybody gonna tell me?
Yeah.
You know? But I can't be that me
No.
on social media, because that comes off in a different way.
Yes,
You know, that
100%.
comes off so abrasive and oh, who is this guy? He's cocky or whatever, but I put in the work every fucking day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's what you do. You put in that work every day. You need to show what you do.
Yes.
This order came in. This $10,000 order came in.
Yeah.
This customer came in and gave me $10,000, my 19-year-old self, $10,000 in trust to give him these parts. Yeah. This transaction happened.
Yes.
You're going to see this happen, and you're going to see this happen every day. Any sort of transaction, put that shit out there. Okay. Flood it.
Yeah.
Every 5-10 posts every single day. Just make that shit happen, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
And just not, like, I guess, like, sit there and think about it too much. Fuck it. Throw a post out there.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Who cares, dude?
Yeah.
You know? They're on break.
Yeah.
While they're thinking about something to say about you.
Yeah.
They're only doing it when they're taking a shit.
Yeah.
Or when they're on break.
Yeah.
If not, hey, you got to get back to work.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the way that I think about things, and that's what's really led to my success.
Yes.
Is that, you know, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Because at the end of the day, when I was working for someone, somebody still had something to say.
Yeah.
Somebody always has something to say.
100%.
You know? But it's hard. I get it. You're young, dude.
Yeah,
and you have a lot more challenges than I had when I was growing up. My life wasn't public.
Yeah.
Your life is public.
Yes.
If something happens to you, the whole world can know.
Yeah.
When something happened to me when I was 19, you know, the little network that I had in the little city that I had maybe knew about it.
Yeah. But no.
But it still doesn't matter.
No.
In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't fucking matter, dude. You know, something's gonna happen. They're gonna fuck all the truckers, and they're gonna forget about what you did, bro. They're worrying about the next thing, you know.
Yeah.
Just do you.
Yeah.
That's it. Because at the end of the day, dude, it's like, this is your time.
Yeah.
This is your life. This is your window of the next 80 years.
Yeah.
And you got to design this how you want. And I know that that's what your dad sees.
Yes.
And your dad wants to help you out. Look, I've worked my ass off.
Yeah.
You know, I've done these jobs. I don't want that for you. I want you to live life how you want to live life.
Yeah.
And you already started it, dude.
Yeah.
And that's all you got to do is just fucking keep on keeping on.
Yeah. Just fucking do it.
And you're going to mess up.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to mess up.
Oh, yeah.
But you're going to mess up when you were at Honda.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going to mess up at the salon.
Yeah.
I didn't say fold it that way. You got your grandma on you. You got your mom on you. You folded it horizontal. I wanted it vertical.
Yeah.
Where's the triangle? You didn't tuck the fucking triangle. You know, you're going to get shit on
yeah,
anyways.
no, I trust me. I got shit on for folding shit the wrong way.
I know you
Yeah.
did. I know you did. The biggest thing, dude, is accountability.
Yeah.
You got to hold yourself accountable. You know, and there's that voice inside of you that's going to try to bullshit you. You know, it's Saturday. You know, you earned it. That's sad. No, you haven't earned it yet, bro. You haven't earned it yet. You will earn it, but you haven't earned it yet. You got to put that time in. If that's what you want, any sort of pleasure that you have needs to be delayed. The longer you delay it, the bigger that pleasure is going to be.
And that's one of the, I will say that's what I have started to notice over the last year or two has been, okay, that can wait, but at 19, everything sounds fun, fantastic to go and do, but it's getting into that self of, okay, no, you have a company to grow.
You have a company, right?
You're 19 years old and
you have a fucking company, bro. All right, your friends are gonna be out there partying, fucking, drinking, smoking. 25, you'll see where they're at.
Yeah.
From 25 to 55, they're gonna be in the same exact spot.
Yeah.
They're gonna be working at the same place, you know, because that's just how it is.
Yeah, that's what they chose to do.
That's life.
Yeah.
And that's here. That's Canada. That's everywhere.
Yes.
You know, and it's you'll have time for that.
Yeah.
And you'll have time that you could go out and party and shit and live life. Dishes got to get done first.
Yes.
And no one's gonna tell you that you got to do these dishes.
Fuck no.
You have to tell you.
Yeah.
And that voice in your head is gonna be like, well, I'll just do it later. No, fuck that voice, dude.
Yeah.
You know
that voice fucking sucks.
That bitch voice, dude. I got that bitch voice still.
Yeah.
And it never leaves. The devil's always around the corner, bro.
Yeah.
Always around the corner, dude. And you can never put your guard down. You know.
Yeah.
You stick to it, and this is the goal. This is what I'm gonna do. And if I don't accomplish this today, I'm gonna reevaluate. Tomorrow, I'm gonna do better.
Yeah.
Now, every day doesn't have to be perfect.
Nope.
But you have to just try your best every single day.
Yeah.
You know.
Just do better each day.
That's it, dude. Yeah. And as long as you just live by that, you'll succeed at whatever it is. That you want to do.
Yeah.
Say you don't want to do this in 5 years. Fucking sell paper clips. Sell fucking paper clips. Who's gonna say anything, right?
Everyone needs a fucking paper clip.
That's it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Somebody made this mic afro.
Yeah.
Who the fuck made this? Who made it?
Yeah.
The mic company probably thought of it, but who's the one that actually came up with the fibers and the shape and everything? Yeah. Who's the guy that's actually making these, packing them up and shipping it to this company? Sure. Yeah. Somebody needs this shit. Everything.
Yeah.
You know, the screws for these tables, every single thing, dude.
Oh, it was crazy to see that aspect of the world being able to be, after like running the company for a couple of years and sitting there and being like, fuck, everyone sells something. Everyone makes something. Everyone sells something.
For sure.
And for a lot of people to just sit there and work for those people that make and sell something, and they don't understand that aspect of, you can do it. Doesn't matter, like you're saying, it's selling fucking paper clips or the mic afros.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. And if you want to party from 16 to 25 and do the crazy shit that you want, that's chill. But you have to realize 25 to the rest of your fucking life,
you're going to be working,
you're going to be working for somebody.
Yeah. and working for somebody.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, if right now you want to put your head down, work your ass off, by the time you're 30,
laughing,
you're set.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. It was one of the biggest realizations for me to sit there and go, fuck, I'm not even 20 yet. If I could take this ball and run with it, who knows where I'm going to be in the next 10 years.
Whatever you want to do, bro. You know, the world is yours.
Yes.
For sure. Cayden, I wish you the best, man.
Thank you.
Hell yeah, dude. And I ask you these things because in 5 years, I want you to play this back.
Yes.
Hopefully, we're still around.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully,
you guys will still be here.
Hopefully, the atomic bomb hasn't hit yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully, YouTube's still around, but this convo will live on, you know?
Yeah.
And it's always something good to look back. There's a video that I did in 2017 with Right Hand Drive Kev from Four Bangers Production. He flew down here and stayed for a week, and we like documented my whole life.
Yeah.
And we went to IBOC and did the show and everything, right? At that time, I was still working out of the house. It was 2016.
Okay.
I was still working out of the house, and we did a documentary, you know?
Yeah.
And I watched that now, and I'm just like, damn, that's crazy, because that was nothing.
Yeah.
The point that I was at that point was like nothing. I couldn't even imagine the life that I have right now.
Oh yeah, imagine 5 years.
5 years from now.
5 years from now, and you're looking back at this again, and you're going, holy fuck.
For sure. And so on.
Yeah, it's all about growth, and it will, if you stay on that, like you said, if you stay on that spectrum of just do better every day, there's no reason you won't succeed and grow bigger.
And 5 years from now, dude, you're gonna open that door, you're gonna hit that alarm, you're gonna turn on all the TVs, you're gonna go to YouTube, and then boom, you're gonna watch this podcast.
Yeah.
And it's all gonna click.
Yeah.
You know, as you're leaning over watching it on that marble countertop. That's it.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be like. Your buddies are gonna come in, hey, they're here for the car, boom. Then you're gonna snap out of it. All right, let's get to work.
Yeah.
You know? But I wish you the best, bro.
Thank you.
Keep hustling, man.
Yeah.
And stick to it.
Likewise.
So before we get out of here, where can people find the shop at? And how can they work with you if they're in Canada?
We're located in the southeast of Calgary. The address is 433 54th Ave Southeast. And our website's midnightautograge.ca. Our Instagram's Midnight Auto Garage. We're open 10 to 8 every day, and then 11 to 4 on Saturdays.
And if somebody has any questions, can they just
email or phone call works the best. We are, hopefully by the time this video is up, our website will be quite a bit revamped compared to what it is now. But for the most part, reach out, email or phone call, and we'll be able to find you mostly of everything.
Dude, I had a good time, man.
No, this was awesome, bro.
It's a good break into the new studio.
Yeah.
I'm stoked on it. I like this, like, sitting across.
No, this is a great setup.
Because we had the other, like, the stage, and it felt like a talk show. I felt like I needed to have those cards.
Someone said in the back,
Clap. Where's the applause? Turn the applause on. I'm stoked now. I'm ready to get back to podcasting. This is a good one, dude.
Yeah, no, this has been awesome.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for listening. Once again, this is Downtime with Downstar, and we out. Peace.